Won't break, won't miss, rich tickets, check out. We talking star like ball hype, pretty face guy like, bruh, how do I exist? In the gym every day, I'm gonna miss. I'm a daddy like, boy, don't blow my assist. I got it. Tryna slow down my motion. It's written, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get them going. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. The slot man in motion right. Here's Hurts to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3-and-out, something lets the other guys...
Gets by him, and now a little daylight. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Saquon Barkley, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Go ahead.
Tua sets up to pass it. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It's Keely Ringo that time knocking it away. You look at this Eagle defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Here's Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Dolphins coming in looking for win number 6 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Tua going to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. In motion goes the tight end. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
He'll dump this off to Achane. And he gets it down to the 32. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And, Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be, and now it's 4th down. Bates' kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
You talk about this Miami defense. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. A wild throw there, and it is intercepted. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Running left, Achane. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Barkley, inside handoff. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Throwing is Hurts.
He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
My, if maybe that ball is 2 yards shorter, it's going to give them the lead because he had a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's complete. A diving grab there by Brown. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You circle the Pro Bowl. Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Forced out to his left. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
2nd down, here's Barkley again.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
67 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Barkley is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Barkley again. And this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there.
Oh, the sneak, it's Hurts.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Even when the play starts at the 1-yard line and you think you can sneak it in, it's not a formality that you're going to score the touchdown. The celebration in this case, from the defensive side of the line of scrimmage. A big-time play, keeping them out of the end zone.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder.
The kick by Elliott is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Throw caught by Achane. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 74 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
All right. He's right, snug.
On first down, back to Achane. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Again, it's Achane. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. On third down, Achane. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Bates' kick is good, and the Dolphins have come back now to regain the lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 2nd and 10, Hurts. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
44.
And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Hey, 21 TA.
Now Tua. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Eagles 10.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And even 100 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Achane here. They stay on the ground. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Looking to pass. Tua. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Let's go.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll run for it with Achane. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Ready.
They'll motion out one of the tight ends. From the 5, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it with Achane. He's going to be marked down very close to the first down marker, but it looks like he's a yard short. That's kind of an interesting decision. 1-score game, 3rd quarter. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm willing to go out on the limb on this one and go for it. And here's why. If I set it up right now and go get the touchdown, I'm in firm control of this ball game, and my team has a ton of confidence. If I don't get it, hey, I rely on my defense. And if somehow they go downfield on me and score, so be it. I want to be in control and in firm control right now.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They're going to look to throw.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked out by Caleb Farley. And the Dolphins are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. After the turnover, it's Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Down the left sideline. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 58 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The two are going to try and throw for it.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Get set. Cover 2. Ready, set.
A give left side. Here's Achane. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Turbo 3, turbo.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down.
And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 27. 131 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Yeah, ready.
Out of the gun on third down. Here's Tua. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. 27 yards. And the Dolphins take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing on second and long. Hurts. Here's a diving catch right side. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They're going on fourth down with Hurts.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
63.
They'll set up to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Get set.
Up the middle, Achane.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Right back to him on first down.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Tua going to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Achane.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 6-2 start as they extend this 4th quarter advantage.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 of the 24. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now you got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Elliott on for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
48, Eagles 17.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Here's 2nd and 7.